Welcome back. You're watching the South African Morning here on ENCA. Now, the eternal question of what is for dinner has turned into when is dinner here in South Africa because of load shedding. Blackout schedules now dictate when and what we eat. For more on how Eskom is changing our lives, we are joined by Marcelle Pienaar from Eskort Foods to chat about some of the challenges that we face when it comes to meal prep time. Good morning to you, Marcelle. Thank you very much for joining us here on the South African Morning. I think for so many families, the issue of blackouts and load shedding has interrupted meal time and also time spent in the afternoons with family and just sitting around a dinner table and perhaps enjoying a meal. Talk to us about some of the challenges that South Africans are experiencing when it comes to meal time because of load shedding.
Absolutely. So the impact of power outages and load shedding on meal times for South African households, especially during the current chilly weather, has been significant. With frequent power outages and power interruptions, families are essentially faced with challenges in preparing meals at home, leading to various adjustments in their dining habits. Load shedding often forces households to dine out more frequently, and which can essentially add up very quickly in terms of expenses. Alternatively, we find that some families may resort to purchasing smaller quantities of food more frequently, which may not be the most cost-effective option in the long run. Additionally, the reliance on alternative cooking methods such as gas hobs and appliances like air fryers also contributes to higher costs. While these methods may offer some convenience during load shedding, they can strain already tight budgets when needing to buy these items.
Your organization did some research on social media and posed some questions to some of the followers, and the results were quite surprising. Huge amounts of people writing in. Just talk to us about what was said.
Absolutely. So we received a staggering 9,000 responses in just over a day, just contributing to the conversation around load shedding and the frustrations consumers are facing. I think absolutely load shedding indeed poses considerable financial implications for South African families, and we found that came through quite heavily in the discussions we've had with our consumers and our families, especially when it comes to mealtime. Power outages disrupt the ability to cook warm home-cooked meals, leading to increased expenses as households kind of generally resort to alternative cooking methods. But we, as part of this campaign to address these financial burdens, it is our mission to really get the message across to consider cost-effective protein options that really allow families to continue enjoying nutritious and satisfying meals despite power outages. And of course, one such option is absolutely pork, which stands out as an affordable protein choice for South African households. The pork affordability makes it an ideal choice for families looking to stretch their budgets while maintaining a balanced and wholesome diet. I believe it's worth mentioning that at a time where food inflation has soared and the cost implications of load shedding, it is worth reflecting on the fact that year-on-year pork has proven to be the most cost-effective protein in the meat baskets. So absolutely a big drive for the pork industry.
Marcelle, I hear your point, but unfortunately pork is not an option for many families because of maybe personal beliefs or religious beliefs. What are some other tips and tricks you can share in order to give families advice on how to navigate these issues and these challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. So while pork really serves as a versatile, cost-effective solution, we do need to understand that there are families that don't consume pork. But I think when it comes to meal preparation and tips for mitigating the power outages, there are various ways and means around that. And I think one such thing is the big love that South Africans have for braaiing. So we often say resort to the traditional love that South Africans have for braaiing and light that fire to kind of adapt and not be reliable on the electricity essentially so much. There are also multiple ways of doing and ensuring that you do meal preparation beforehand, ensuring you've got the necessary and required products on hand to kind of just streamline the meal prep and cooking preparation beforehand that really just help alleviate the stress when it comes to load shedding and meal prep. And again, buying smaller quantities might be a little bit more costly for consumers. They are delicious and wholesome, ready-to-prepare meals. That is also a nutritious way for families to still feed their households nutritious meals that is easy to prepare.
Indeed, Marcelle, thank you very much for your time and just giving us some ideas on how to maneuver these very challenging times when it comes to cooking our meals, whether it's breakfast, lunch or dinner. It can be quite a challenge when we are experiencing those blackouts and load shedding due to Eskom. But that was Marcelle Pienaar. She is the marketing manager at Eskort, and she was just chatting to us about that.